love to explore it, but we can't get past low Earth orbit. Do your research, people. I think you'll find. But NASA admits that a bunch of times. Listen.
Right now, we only can fly in Earth orbit. That's the farthest that we can go. And this new system that we're building is going to allow us to go beyond and hopefully take humans into the solar system to explore. So the moon, Mars, asteroids, there's a lot of destinations that we could go to, and we're building these building block components in order to allow us to do that eventually.
I'd go to the moon in a nanosecond. The problem is we don't have the technology to do that anymore. We used to, but we destroyed that technology, and it's a painful process to build it back again.
The views and opinions expressed on 1360 KHNC are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Excursion Broadcasting Network.
This is your half-empty cup of joe.
Pour a cup of this good-smelling coffee. It will taste as good as it smells.
This show is hosted by Joe Jaquint and Jason Walker. Because half a cup is better than no cup.
All right, welcome to the half-empty cup of Joe here on a Thursday. Hey, it's Flat Earth Dave Day. We got Flat Earth Dave coming in. I think Joe will join us in just a moment. I'm sure he's busy. We got businesses we run here, so you never know when one of us has to jump off. But Dave, I want to welcome you in right off the bat. Thanks for coming on like you do once a month. I think Joe wants to cover some ground that's not Flat Earth. I think we're going to cover some ground that is Flat Earth. And I don't know, what do you got? Anything change? Anything different from the last month since you've been here?
Yes, well, everything's different every day. You said it's a Flat Earth Dave Day. Actually, Flat Earth Day was July 8th. Do you know why?
Why is that?
So on July 8th, 99% of the Earth's population experiences daylight at the same time. Now, that's not 99% of the globe or the world. It's about 71 to 73% of the Earth is in daylight. Now think about it. If we only have one light source, the sun, 93 million miles away, and then the ball, Earth, it could only light up 50% of the Earth. But 70+% of it was lit at the same time. Makes no sense on a globe, but if we put a light on a flat Earth map, we can light up those same parts of the world with a single source light. And Flat Earth Day, July 8th, every year.
Those are the things I like to hear. It's one of those things that, one of those many facts that got me to understand that the globe model is completely false. Dave, I've never been a one. I've got theoretical, ideas about what all of reality might be. I kind of leave it open. I try not to pretend like I know
here.
exactly.
I'm total. Nobody knows. No flat earther knows exactly. We know that we don't know, and we know that we're not on a globe. Those are the only things that we really know.
I actually believe it could be not a globe or not flat. I believe it could be some completely. I think we could be living in a completely false reality. Where we
are living in a false reality.
Well, I mean, so if it is a false reality, and the way that I look at it is you got these guys that create these video games, and they create an entire reality. And then the game players can actually go into the game and be a character in there. So the character's not real, but the person creating that's controlling that character is real. Is it possible that we have a false reality where the minds or the souls that are in the false reality actually have control over that? And in my mind, Dave, this is my mind, if the majority of the people in that, or the people that have the biggest willpower in the false reality can create the reality, because it's false anyways, then it could be a globe or it could be flat, because then there is no rules.
It can't. Well, yes and no. I hear where you're going. You gotta. We live in a physical something, whatever it is. So there is physicality, and physicality comes with Newtonian laws of physics that have to go with it. So our thoughts create our reality. That sounds like the word simulation in somewhat, where we're literally creating our physical reality with our thoughts. And if you look around, you go outside. There's what an NPC is, right?
Yeah, a non-player character.
Non-player character, which are in video games, and you go out in the world. There's NPCs everywhere, so there's a lot of evidence that what you're saying has some reality to it. And
listen, Dave, the one point that I might disagree a little bit on is you say that we for sure are in a physical reality, but I mean, so you got your character. Let's say it's a medieval game, it's like a Conan world video game that you put your character in. Now, is it when the other character, the non-player character, the other character in the game chops the head off your guy? Did that physically happen to you?
That's not. But you're just looking at an image on a screen. That's not physical. That's
how do you know that we're not? How do you know that we're not the video game characters in the game?
We might just be in. You might just be in my dream, and you don't even exist. So you can take it to any level that you want.
So in that, hold on. In that position, then couldn't the Earth be flat or a globe or whatever the reality creators make it?
Well, I mean, that's like saying, couldn't you be a woman even though you're a man? I mean, you can say whatever you want, but you have to draw the line somewhere.
In a dream, you can be. You're right.
I don't know about you, but every dream I'm in, I'm a man.
Well, physically, in this reality, that whatever this reality is, yes, we have rules, which is what you're talking about. What I'm saying is, I don't think humanity. Men can actually even really know what the rules are. I mean, when people talk about God, it really frustrates me when guys are, it doesn't matter if Christian or any other version of Christianity or any other religion that's out there, and they're like, well, this is God, what God wants. And it was written by guys that were talking to God. And I'm like, I don't know. To me, it's like, I know that God exists because there's a model for it. I can actually talk down an atheist better than a Christian can, full on blown on Christian. But
I mean, you have to draw the line somewhere. I'm feeling this physical world that we're in, so there is something real to this world, and then with that comes Newtonian laws, and so. I mean, you could just say this whole thing is just a dream, and we're in someone else's dream, or this is all your dream, or whatever. You can take it anywhere you want, but. This world is pretty complex, and we're having pretty deep experiences for extended periods of time. So there is something physical to it. But I truly think that we're immortal beings having a physical experience here, and this is literally just like a video game. So we're in it. In it to win it, baby.
Well, there you go. There's the first segment with Flat Earth Dave. We jumped straight into it. Callers, texters, jump in right away if you'd like to. 877-536-1360 caller text. Dave, we might touch a little bit on a little bit of politics, a little bit of what's going on in Washington, D.C. I was talking to Joe before the show. We'll see when Joe comes in and where we go. But we're going to talk anything's on the table here on the Happy Joe today. Because of the radio station aspect of the live and the podcast, it's hard to get someone like Flat Earth Dave on the video part. So, Jack, maybe you can pop that picture on there. But we do have Flat Earth Dave. He'll be with us for the balance of the show. You can go to rumble.com and go to the Half Empty Cup of Joe. Stream the show. You'll be able to watch me right now. And when Joe joins in, we'll have him on screen. And we got a Flat Earth Dave picture we like to put up. But real good stuff. Let me real quick. We got a couple of texters. We'll start with that, and we'll get back to Dave here. First texter. That July 8th light thing is probably proof. It's probably the proof that did it for me. Dave's app and website are an awesome video of the proof with basic household items that there's lots of things you can do from home, right, Dave? That gives you a proof of the Earth being flat. The last thing it says here is you can recreate at home. You can be assured it works just like the video. All right, Dave, what do you say?
Yeah, I mean, there's all sorts of things. I did a thing called my Flat Earth Kitchen. I kind of just got inspired, and I have a long counter, and I ran a string level with the counter, about a foot above the counter. I put all sorts of obstacles below the string, and then I ran a light, looks like a sun, across that line. I filmed it from the same height as the line, and I also filmed it from on the counter looking up at it. And the looking up one made the sun look like it was going down, and it went behind things or went below things that it never really went below. all due to perspective. So it shows you how the sun sets on flat Earth. And that one, I think that's what he might be referring to, woke up a lot of people, because the biggest thing is, like, how does the sun set on flat Earth? It would be light all time. But once you understand how they've hijacked perspective and called it Earth curve, once you see through that, you can see through all the lies.
Yeah, and if you're having trouble visualizing what Dave's talking about, I'll do my own dumbed down version. But I've seen this. Dave, I need to take the time to recreate this and show this to people at the radio station. I haven't had time to do it, but basically you take a flashlight, right, that represents the sun, and you just move it farther away, and then with the perspective on the tabletop, you see the sun set down below essentially the countertop, but the flashlight's right there in front of you still.
Yeah, well, I put a flashlight, I taped it onto a glass orange ball, so it literally was a three-dimensional sun. Because the flashlight might be a little confusing because it's just shining light down. You need a glowing ball to do it. And it works great. Once you understand perspective is how the way they got away with the globe lie is they hijack perspective. They stop teaching it in schools. They call it Earth curve, and it's brainwashed into kids before they can think. And then once they have that cemented in their brain, they fluoridate the kids so they can't change their mind because their minds are calcified, and they go through their whole life believing this nonsense. It's absolute nonsense.
We're going to start getting some callers here.
Yeah.
I wanted to. Yeah, go ahead, Dave.
I'm sorry. I was just going to say, for those of you that might be new to this and have never heard me, Flat Earth, oh my God, the radio jumped the shark. I challenge people. I offer 3 Bitcoins, but I'm tired of offering it because it's just a waste of time, because I know the Earth is flat. But pretend I'm offering 3 Bitcoins, 1 globe proof. That's it. And I just say, on my app, you can find it at flatearthdave.com. There's the frequently asked questions page, because you're just going to ask me the questions that are already answered on those pages, because I know all the questions. How does the sun set? What about it ships over the horizon? What about seasons? What about circumnavigation? All of that is so simple. Once you see it, you can't unsee it.
Dave, I think you should just make it 1 Bitcoin, because I think I think the other question people are asking, Dave, you've got 3 Bitcoins. Where does he live? I'm going to go. I'm going to hijack that guy and. You know what I mean?
You know what? When I started it off for when Bitcoin was the 10,000, I said, okay, 1 Bitcoin, and then or maybe it was like, but then it plummeted. We had a big drop, so I upped it to 3 Bitcoins, and then I just haven't changed it.
Yeah, I can hear the somebody that just happened to tune into KHNC, and you're offering 3 Bitcoins. I can hear the not so nice gentleman that might be listening saying, "Oh, I need to find where that guy is," and the problem is when you do make an offer like that, you owe the people the obligation of addressing their stuff. The problem is it's the same stuff. People are like, well, let's get the money into escrow and let's get a contract. Let's do. And I'm like, just tell me what your proof is so I can debunk it in 3 seconds before we waste all of this time. And then finally they'll tell me, they're like, well, circumnavigation, you can go east and end up right back where you started from. And I'm like, really? Really? Did you not look at the frequently asked questions section? Did you not look at the first video in the circumnavigation section? Earth is flat. Get over it. And once you do, life is amazing. All right, next text. Not be moved. He stretches his tent over the earth. All sounds flat. So a comment backing you up, Dave.
Yeah. God separated the waters from the waters and created the firmament. Show me that on a globe. Here's the thing. The Bible is the most amazing flat earth book. But I don't want to use the Bible because there's lots of people that don't believe in the Bible. I didn't when I first learned about flat earth. The Bible backs up flat earth. The earth is flat. The Bible is a flat earth book. The Quran is a flat earth book. All ancient civilizations were flat earth civilizations. They only changed in the 1900s. Okay? They were teaching flat earth here into the mid-1900s. People don't realize that. And we were told 2,000 years ago, Eratosthenes did it.
Yeah.
Am I here? Am I still on? Or?
There you are. I'm sorry, Rick. Yeah, no, you're there, Rick. I think Joe's coming back on here. But go ahead and finish, Rick, and I want to get to the caller.
No, yeah, go to the caller.
877-536-1360. I would love to get comments on rumble.com. Go to Half Empty Cup of Joe on rumble.com, and we'll get some people viewing the show. 877-536-1360. I want to get the calls and the texts in. First up is Rick. Rick, thanks for calling in. Go ahead.
First off, Dave, I hope that KHNC listeners understand how lucky they are that you come on once a month, because you're world class. And the more I look at your app, I delve into your app. I've been staring at it more and more. I think the first time I ever called you, I said, man, I don't understand your app. But if you just look at the cover page and just watch that flat Earth map and the sun and moon on it, you begin to understand a lot. And your debates with AI are just a blast.
They're so much fun, yes.
You see, during work, I can't really look at videos, but I always want to check out your app. So I try to find content that I could just listen to. And those are awesome. And people, they're fun as hell. I give people $3 and I make them download your app on their phone because it's the way to spread the word. I've got. So do you have a background in science? Because you debate freaking AI.
Well, I mean, it's just using logic, and AI is more honest than these globe heads. Here's the thing: when people say, "Where's your degree?" What is it? How do you get a degree?
Yeah.
You know the way you get a degree: memorize, regurgitate, and don't question. That's how you get a degree.
Well, you see, I studied physics in college, and so I have a scientific mind. And I want to tell you about some observations I've made. Like every time I think I've come up with an observation of my own, I see somebody on a video talking about it on your app. But so I'm not coming up with anything original. But tell me about this, Dave. So I've started looking at the sky totally differently now, and the sky is beautiful to me now. So it's sunrise, before sunrise, pre-dawn. When I stand and face due south, I'm in Denver. So you can see the sky starting to glow over my left shoulder, but way behind my left shoulder, like 30 degrees from due north. So it's coming up over the Earth way further back than it would on a globe Earth. If the sun was coming around the Tropic of Cancer in June, it would be like almost due left of me if I'm facing south. It should be.
When you have some high clouds, think about this. If the sun is coming up over the limb of the Earth, right, you would see a giant shadow sweeping forward away from you. And at sunset, you would see a giant Earth shadow sweeping across the sky when there's some clouds or opacity to the sky. You never see that. You just see the fade in and the fade out. And then you see the sun appear to rise from the ocean. That's because it's coming from beyond an opaque deck that we think is the Earth curve, but it's really either mountains or atmosphere, one or the other.
Rick, hey, hang on. If you want to stick around, I'll put you back on. Since Rick brought up the AI, I got a question for you. I think it was like a week ago. Was it a week ago? And you'll have to forgive me. I want to call it Grok. Is it Grok? Is that what it's called? Did you hear?
I've never used that. That's their AI. Tell me about it.
Okay. Well, then you don't know. Well, so I know it was last week. They allowed it to. They put a different function on it. They allowed it to be what I would call more honest, and it started spouting off all kinds of crazy. Well, what's crazy to a lot of people, and it started bringing in other information, not just what's in the algorithm, what it's programmed to be thinking. And it started doing what I would consider a whole lot of truth, and really a lot of the truth they started talking about had to do with the World War II and Hitler and the Germans, and because people were asking it all kinds of stuff about the Jews and the Holocaust, and it was spitting out stuff that sounded very much different than what the information people want to hear. And I thought for sure you might have seen, but you'll have to look it up. But Grok was changed, and then because what they were calling anti-Semitic comments that were coming. It was coming from the AI. The AI, it wasn't being asked these things. It was bringing it out there, and they shut it off. There was Turkey and a couple of countries started banning X if they were to continue to let Grok do what it was doing, and they shut it down. So you have to look it up, Dave, because it was like a blink. It was like one day.
Yeah.
And then I think it was too much truth for the world to handle.
Yeah, how much time do we have? I can tell you a couple of things I've done with the AI.
Yeah, go for it.
How much time we have to the break?
We got about 2.5 minutes. Go ahead.
Yeah, so there's a whole bunch. I mean, just think the first one I can think of is they tell us, when something's orbiting, it's not in zero gravity. It's just falling at the same rate as the Earth curvature. So it's going, the ISS is going 17,000 miles an hour, and every time it falls a mile, that 17,000 miles an hour produces another mile of Earth curve, right? Okay, so you're falling around the Earth. It's just literally a mental gymnastic exercise to prove the globe. Well, they say if it's falling and there's no resistance, it'll speed up no matter what. So if something's falling, a satellite's falling around the Earth, it should speed up. And it says it's in a stable orbit. I'm like, and I caught it to the point where I'm like, if it's falling and speeding up, to be in a stable orbit, it'd also have to be equally speeding up because it'll hit the Earth otherwise. And it admitted that that doesn't work. And then a couple times it rage quit on me.
Oh no!
If you go to my YouTube channel, DITRH, the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole, you can see I have a whole bunch of AI videos in the last 20, 30 videos. But everything can be found at flatearthdave.com, all my YouTube channels, my interviews channels. This video will be on the app, and of course the app if you really want to learn about it and share it with others.
I'm going to tell people listening, you got to get in there and look at this website. There's so many things to click on. There's so many things to look at. It doesn't even matter what you're asking or looking for. Just click on a few things. You're going to find, no matter what, very mind-provoking subject and vids to really get you thinking. I got another text we're going to hit on the way back in from the break. We may go back to Rick. If you want to call in, let's get on here and ask some questions. I think we're going to have some fun with the next text. Welcome back to Half Empty Cup of Joe. Once again, 877-536-1360, the call or text line. We're getting a lot more people up on the Rumble page. I'm happy to see that. Go to rumble.com and look us up at the Half Empty Cup of Joe. Dave, text. I got a comment, too, on this. Flatfoot Dave, not again. The world is round to me. Until I see some video otherwise. And then before you comment, Dave, I want to grab a little bit of that thunder. Well, first of all, it shows a little bit of ignorance. I mean, the people that that really criticize flat Earth don't understand the model. I wish we'd get a globe Earth believer that actually understood the flat Earth model. I haven't seen it. You may have run into it, Dave. I haven't seen it. But
well, it's not even understanding the flat Earth model.
Hang on, Dave. Hold on. Let me say something, Dave. Let me say this. Flat Earth can be round, though, right? As far as it's very possible that the flat Earth is round. So as far as he's saying that the world is round to him, maybe he's coming around. Ignorance in his views, it very well could be round. And he says until I see some videos otherwise. And Dave, is there any videos of a globe Earth?
There's no videos of globe Earth, but if you want to see a video of me in Narnia, I could show it to you. Does that make Narnia real?
Well, what are all those globe Earth videos? We're looking from the space station, and they're looking down at it looks like the globe Earth. What is all that, Dave?
Yeah, so that's from 250 miles up, and you would not see the amount of curvature that they show you from the space station. NASA admits they don't have any photos of Earth. They admit that they're all stitched together, and they're clearly fake. You look at the size of the continents, the colors, everything, clearly faked. But we have pictures of all the other planets, just not Earth. All the other planets. There's different types of people, different types of globers. You got the shills, the ones that, for whatever reason, paid or possessed, are here to deceive the world and hide the flat Earth truth. Then you have
Freemasons,
just people that are ignorant, like people that just have no idea, and that's not a bad word. Like, I'm ignorant to the layout of your radio station because I've never been there. Don't know it, so I'm ignorant to it. It's not a bad word. So
yeah, ignorance is not a bad word. I say it all the time on the air, Dave. I've talked about it. Ignorance is bliss. There's ways to be happy in your ignorance.
Yeah. So that's it. And then you have disingenuous. There's no such thing as an educated, honest glober. There's not, because once you look at the evidence, the Earth is not a globe.
Excellent. We got another texter in. This is a little bit of a long one. I'm just totally new here.
Let's hear it.
They want you to believe you're on a magic spinning water ball going 1,000 miles an hour. This way you will always believe anything like men and can be women. Some men from a cave were able to scramble NORAD on 9/11. And then a guy who never flew a plane before did unmatchable maneuvers to be able to fly into the Pentagon. And you'll believe we landed on the moon and the weather is not controllable. And Democrats and Republicans oppose each other. And they're the ones that are going to save the day. You'll believe all of that. Right, Dave? Well put.
That's that guy. Yeah, I mean, it's all there, and there's so much more. I mean, we can go on and on about all the deceptions. It's wild.
Well, I got a caller, Dave. Let's go to this. We got to go. I like Brian a lot because Brian will actually like that texter that texted in earlier. He doesn't really want to come on the air and enter the cave with the bear here, which the bear of Flat Earth is Flat Earth Dave. He's going to tear you up unless you can defend yourself. But Brian,
very nice about it.
Brian's a guy that he can form a few arguments, and he has the courage to come in. And Brian,
is this the same one from every other week.
Yeah, he calls in a lot. We love Brian, Dave. He comes in and he's a different thought process than most of the audience. But Brian, man, thank you for coming in. What do you got for Flat Earth Dave today?
Well, question that I have continually asked is, if you believe in the nonsense that the Earth is flat, then what do the people that are trying to convince everyone that the Earth is a globe, what do they have to gain? What benefit are they trying to get?
So Brian emailed me after the show last time, and I sent him lots of videos and stuff that you really can't.
Answer the question, Dave.
I'm going to answer it.
Hang on, Brian.
It's my favorite question. But I gave him all of these answers in video form so you could actually see and understand it. But he didn't watch any of them.
I'm not going to watch your stupid videos.
See, so he's not interested in the truth. You know what? They have nothing to gain. Earth is a globe. They have nothing to gain. Earth is a globe.
The answer.
I've already given the answer 100 times on the show.
I got an answer. Okay. So hold on, Brian. Hold on, Brian.
Who stands to benefit?
Okay, Brian, I'm going to answer it. Brian, I'm going to answer it.
The people in power.
Hold on, Brian, or Dave. Okay, Brian, so I'm going to answer that because we had, oh my gosh, Mark Sargent. Years ago, I put Mark Sargent on the air and we were talking, and I gave him some of my little theories of what the Earth could be, and it answers Brian's question. So, Brian, I'm going to try to use a bit of history real quick, and then I'm going to bring it to today with the flat Earth and what the flat Earth could be. We had this thing called the Dark Ages. Brian, do you believe in that part of our history, that there was several centuries where...
I'm not interested.
No, you asked a question. I got to know...
He's not interested in hearing the answer.
I just want to know...
Brian, I need to know...
Who stands to gain?
Well, Brian, I need to know, Brian. Brian, I need to know if we have any...
Get him off the phone, and then we'll answer it in detail.
I need to know if we have any commonalities, Brian, because if we don't have any commonalities, then we're basically on the opposite sides of the table. But I think you're closer to my side of the table than we think. So you do believe, Brian, that there was a thing called the Dark Ages that went on for centuries after the fall of the Roman Empire. Is that correct?
Yeah, so
okay.
what?
What's
All right. The point?
So people's standard of living was really low. There was a lot of monarchs. This is where castles were built. Castles were built because there was such chaos in European nations that you had barbarians from Germany and you had the Vikings coming in from the coast. And these castles were built so that the peasants who lived outside the castle would go to the castle and protect the lords, the only ones that could protect themselves from this chaos, which was the Middle Ages. And as a peasant, you're thinking, man, hold on. So as a peasant, you're thinking, man, I really wish I could get the hell out of here. This sucks. And then Christopher Columbus, or whatever history you want to believe or not, they found the New World. And in this whole new world, a peasant can become a lord. You can own land. You are the master of your own destiny. It was freedom. But it didn't help the central bankers, which were just become very powerful at the time. The owners of the European and Asian societies were losing control of this new freedom that these people had found and they were going to, which was the New World. So if nobody can go below a certain point to the south of the planet, which is where the Antarctic ice ring is on a flat Earth. If there's something past that ice ring, Brian, an entire ring of continents of a free world, do you as a controller, Brian, want that to happen?
I'll answer after the break.
Hang on, Brian. I want to know, Brian. But we'll get Flight or Dave's side on the other side of the break.
Do something. Jack, because I'm evil.
All right. I want to get Brian's answer first, then Dave's going to dig into it. But Brian, real quick to finish. Hey, Admiral Byrd, after World War II, was down there. He said he saw continents full of land down there, and then suddenly NASA and the UN decide nobody can go down there. And explore and Brian, I don't know how much you don't believe as strongly as I do of a controlling power on this planet we're on, the world we're living in. But that's why you don't let people go down there. There's freedom down there, Brian, and the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds couldn't have that. Brian, hold on, let me see if Brian understands that. Go ahead, Brian.
So you're claiming that there's this cabal of elitists that are. What do they stand to gain?
Let me answer.
Do you think that if there were continents on the other side of this so-called Antarctic ice wall, that there would be a flood of people that would go over there? Is that what you're trying to suggest?
Yeah, because there's probably another sun that goes around, and very, very good weather, just like in North America. Go ahead, Dave.
So, again, when you walk into a room with a whole bunch of dead bodies, you don't go, well, I don't believe it. What's the motive? Why would somebody do this? You look at the dead bodies. So we can show you all the dead bodies that prove the globe doesn't exist. But why would they do it? They're hiding more land. They're hiding God. They're hiding free energy. They're hiding more resources. They're hiding other civilizations. They're hiding your true potential. They're hiding free air travel. They're hiding everything from you to control you. They vaccinate you. They do all sorts of things to dumb you down, and they don't want you to know. You can't put a person in any size pen without him wanting to go to the other side of that fence. If the fence is
Brian is an atheist and he likes getting the COVID vax.
I'm fully aware. I'm sure he's fully boosted. I'm fully boosted. I mean, I can tell.
Go ahead, Brian. Go ahead, Brian. Let me hear Brian. Go ahead, Brian.
I can prove that there's a creator, but go ahead, Brian.
Go ahead, Brian.
No, you can't prove there's a creator.
I can prove it right now. You ready?
Back to this, what?
No.
What's to prevent anyone from flying over this so-called ice wall?
Okay, I'll tell you why. Because there's 8 military bases from the Falkland Islands all the way around, controlled by the Crown, and anybody that breaches 60 degrees south will be stopped by a ship, by an airplane.
Hold on, Brian.
Go look it up. It's called the Antarctic Treaty. It's the longest-standing treaty in history.
Brian, I have watched the video. There was a podcaster. He was doing a fishing show, and he went down into those southern waters to do fishing for his fishing show. And a full-on battle cruiser from the United States Navy came in and intercepted him and said, "Get back north. You don't belong here."
And there's many more stories of people being stopped, ships being seized, people being put in jail. And that's just at 60 degrees. Try going to 70 degrees south. You get a whole nother barrage of stuff. And it's the longest-standing treaty in history. All of the countries in the world agree on it. That's amazing. Everyone agrees on it. And it can't even be questioned until the year 2040, which happens to be the same year as NASA's cosmology predictions end.
And real quick, Dave. So, Brian, you asked the question, Brian. Let me ask a quick question to you. Now, I've seen the videos. If you fly your airplane down below that southern border, essentially, that invisible line, American fighter jets will shoot you down. They'll give you a warning to turn around, and they will shoot you. Yes?
He's going to deny it.
Hold on, Dave and Brian. Dave, Brian. Hold on, Brian. I've watched video. Brian, I've watched video. The guys literally did a whole show that they're going to fly their single-engine plane down south of this imaginary line where we can't go to see what would happen. 2 fighter jets showed up and told him to turn around. They said they would shoot him down if he didn't turn around. So my question is, Brian, what is so important about an ice wasteland that they'd have to shoot people down for flying down there? What's so important down there? You tell me why that's so important. You don't believe it's happening, but it is happening. There's videos. You just go look for it. I've seen them.
And this video is from someone who is trying to assert that the Earth is flat, right?
No, it's not.
Nope. He just wants to break the rules and see what
Not
happens.
a flat earther. Not a flat earther
Just
at all.
wants to break the rules.
Just wants to break the rules.
Go to Antarctica. Just wanted to go to Antarctica.
If you penetrate an air defense zone, yes, you will be intercepted.
So why are they protecting Iceland penguins? It's a wasteland.
Brian, why is there a defense? Brian, why is Antarctica being defense? All you can do in an ice wasteland is go and die. Why defend that?
Yeah.
Why? Brian, why defend an Arctic wasteland?
There are plenty of strategic places. There are plenty of strategic places, especially around military bases, that are no-fly zones.
Shared by 58 countries?
Because
wait a minute. Why? It's shared by 58
bullshit.
Countries. Brian,
not shared by 58 countries.
Brian,
this is another fabrication.
Brian, the treaty is signed by 58 countries. Dave, go ahead.
Let's try one more thing. Brian, are you breathing air right now?
Go ahead, Dave.
Okay, so we can just pretend to be him. Are you breathing air? Of course you're breathing air. Gas needs to be contained. We can prove that. We can take a box that has no air in it. We could open up the top or the bottom, and it'll immediately fill with air. And if I had a box of air in a vacuum chamber, I'll poke a hole anywhere in it, on any side, top or bottom, it's instantly going to evacuate and fill the chamber. So we live in a pressurized system. Space is allegedly a vacuum. All of the air should just fly off into space. Now, people say, well, the gravity holds the air down. Well, we can disprove that. I could disprove it with a straw. I could take the weak, low-pressure system of my mouth and lungs, pull air and water up and away from gravity effortlessly. So the vacuum of space should rip all of the air off Earth. So we can prove that gas cannot exist without a container. Therefore, the Earth we live in, whatever shape it is, has a container. A container does not come from a Big Bang. It comes from a creator. Welcome to creation.
Well, I just would love for somebody to tell me why dozens of countries are protecting an ice wasteland and are all in agreement on it. It's a question that can't be answered logically.
You can't argue with fully vaccinated.
Let me go. We got some text. Let's get to the text. Rick, I'm going to get back to you. If you want to call in, it's 877-536-1360. Call or text.
No more Rick, please. No more Rick.
No, Brian. Brian's the guy that was just
Brian.
on.
No more Brian.
Rick was on earlier.
Rick.
I'm going to put Rick.
All right, Rick good. More Rick.
Rick's got tons of more questions, I'm sure. I got text loading up. You're listening to the Half Empty Cup of Joe. We got Flat Earth Dave, which always gets the blood moving, and we're going to have more of that when we get back. Stay with us.
No amounts of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. No amounts of evidence, it seems. No amounts of showing you 100 or 1,000 proofs will ever get your blinded eyes to see. Oh, no amounts of evidence will ever persuade an idiot. No amounts of evidence, it seems. How quickly with your condemnation without real investigation sounds like ignorance to me.
Okay, here's the next.
From now on, you have to play that song when Brian calls in, okay?
Well, I like the guys that challenge us. It just makes it so much better, Dave. You've got a strong personality.
I love it. Yeah, I love it, but he's unwilling to learn anything. He was emailing me, and I was taking the time to give him detailed videos about his questions, and he refused to watch the videos.
I'm going to defend Brian, Dave, because I get to hear him more often on the show. I've been having back and forth with him for years. He has come a long way. Brian, Brian's we had a picnic at the park. We had a big gathering at the radio station a few weekends ago. He's a good guy. I really like that he's what he does on the air, and I want to keep it going. I wish I had 4 more Brians calling. I really do, because it would just make the show way better. But here we got another one. We got the text coming in. Rick, if we don't get you on this short segment, I'm going to get back to you on the phone lines. Dave, here is your globe proof. In the northern hemisphere, stars rotate in a complete circular pattern. In the southern hemisphere, it's the same. It would be impossible to have stars rotate circular patterns in both hemispheres. There is also no circular rotation at the equator of stars. That's exactly how it should be if Earth is a globe? I know you've answered this before on the show, Jave, but go ahead.
Every time. It's the same thing every time. The Globers are like, look at all the physical. We're like, look at all the physical measurements of the Earth. No, look at the lights in the sky that we don't even know what they are. So you want to look at the stars? What are stars? Stars are gas balls in a space vacuum, trillions of miles away, which ignore the inverse square law of light. We couldn't even see stars if they were what they tell us. Now, with that said, if the stars are all rotating around Polaris and it extended out beyond, the outer rim of the known world that we call the shoreline of Antarctica, if you're looking at the north, the stars are rotating from your right shoulder to your left shoulder, which would be counterclockwise. And if you turn around and look to your south, they're rotating from your left shoulder to your right shoulder. Then again, they get higher and lower due to perspective because they're coming towards you and moving away. Globers are like, oh, the Earth is a globe. It's spinning because I lay down in my yard and I look up at the sky and the stars are moving across the sky. Therefore, I'm not moving. No, therefore, the stars aren't moving. I'm moving, right? The Glober logic is unbelievable. But we've done demonstrations using glass domes, spinning stars above them, and you get counter-rotating stars just like we see. Again, the optics of the sky are no way to prove the physical shape of the Earth. And, in the app, on the Frequently Asked Questions page that Brian will not watch, there's a whole Southern Star rotation set of videos that explain it all better than I can on a radio show.
Dave. Let's try to get to another one before this short segment. Yep. I do want to talk about thunder. I saw a video of these guys in these old these
silos.
The silos, man. Those videos are great. Let's do another text though. Copernicus' ridiculous early 16th century theory was to discredit the Bible and separate humans from their maker, aka God. There you go, Dave.
Yeah, well, that's it on the other side. But, all of they love, look at the sky, look at people that we never met hundreds of years ago.
Stop bitching.
We get you another little, we get the long over-the-hour break. We got a little other...
Stop bitching.
You're listening to the Roar of the Rockies, 1360 AM, KHNC, Johnstown, Greeley, Loveland, Fort Collins.
A friend of mine once told me to do a search online. Search for photos of Earth, he said. This will blow your mind. So I opened up the Google and I looked for photos of Earth. Well, a lot of photos came up. He said, click on the first. He said, that's the famous blue marble that everybody's seen. We've seen this photo 1,000 times upon our TV screen. But let me tell you something about that famous shot. It's not a photo at all, man. It was made in Photoshop, cause there ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, no, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball? He was goddamn right. That shit did blow my mind. Because I thought the blue marble was a photo all this time. Well, don't you think that's strange? He said suspiciously. Now, the fact that it ain't a photo seems pretty weird to me. I mean, the most important photo that man could ever take, this huge iconic image turns out to be a fake? Well, I couldn't quite believe it, man. I was pretty shocked. I needed further proof that this photo's photoshopped. He said, look up Robert Simon. He made that cartoon ball. He's the guy you should research. He works for NASA and all. He openly admits that it's all just artistry. He said, and I quote, it's photoshopped, but it has to be. There ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, no, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball? Yep, every photo of the Earth is artist trickery. All the photos on Google, man, are as fake can be. Download all the photos and put them side by side. Compare all the continents. They're each a different size. Compare all the colors, each globe a different shade. If all of these were photos, man, they should look the damn same. Where's the continuity? There's none. No, none at all. All that NASA gives us is a bunch of cartoon balls, cause
there ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, no, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball?
Now we're supposed to have this telescope, right, that's flying past the stars, taking beautiful photos of Jupiter and Mars. Well, I've got a small suggestion, NASA. Here's something you could do. Point that thing at planet Earth and take a shot or two, because there should be goddamn thousands of photos of where we live. But Hubble ain't taken one. That's suspicious, don't you think? We got all these fancy pictures of spinning galaxies, but not one goddamn photo of the Earth for us to see. Cause
there ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, no, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball? There ain't no photographs, but somebody tell me why. They're all just Photoshop cartoons, they're all just CGI. No photographic proof of a globe, no, none at all. Why the hell can no one take a photo of this ball?
The views and opinions expressed on 1360 KHNC are entirely those of the hosts, guests, and callers, and do not necessarily reflect the opinions of the Excursion Broadcasting Network.
This is your half-empty cup of Joe. This show is hosted by Joe Jaquint and Jason Walker, because half a cup is better than no cup.
All right, Jack, you can put that comment back up. We're going to run these two texts and get Rick back on and go another hour with Flat Earth Dave here on the Half Empty Cup of Joe. Number is 877-536-1360. That's the call or text line. It says Logan. I don't know if he's calling you Logan or if he's identifying himself as Logan. Why did ancient civilizations all depicted the Earth being flat? Now we are the ones to say it's round or a globe. Egyptians made structures and had technology we still can't understand today. They thought it was flat. Just open your mind to the idea it's flat and stop trying to argue away every explanation. Dave?
I 100% agree. And about the old world is as big as flat Earth as far as mind-blowing. On my app, there's an old world section. You can find stuff, but if you don't have the app and you just want to start looking, the best channel of all, which is on all platforms, Rumble and YouTube and everywhere else, is My Lunch Break. That's all you have to remember, My Lunch Break. And watch his videos, and your mind will open up, unless your name, of course, is Brian.
I got the last text from holding over from the break. It's not funny at all to be rude to your guests. I don't know if that's aimed at you, Dave, or if that's aimed at Brian calling in.
Listen, Brian is just very, very stubborn, and he can handle it. So I don't think I was rude. I think I was just kind of like...
well, it might have been you. I mean, listen, you're technically...
No, I think they were saying Brian was being rude to Dave. That's what I think.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not rude. It's just he's just exposing his limitations on his ability to think.
And again, I'll just say this. I'll just say this to everybody out there. Listen, we get fired up. We like
emotional.
to go back and forth. And arguing's fine. Profanity, I know it happens. I know that Brian didn't mean anything by it, but
what's a BS between friends?
Yeah, I guess you know what? They are getting a little less strict on this kind of stuff, right?
Yeah, we could drop one of those once in a while. We can drop one of those once in a while. So just have a little control. But really quick, before we get to Rick, and now we got Joe on with us. So we got the full gambit of guests and hosts here. Joe, you want to read the what's on the Rumble screen? I don't know if you're on Rumble yet.
Yeah, Iran's Navy commander announced in a televised broadcast last fall the regime owns Antarctica and will build military operation in the South Pole.
Coming from Jerusalem is that what that is?
Yes. The Israelis said that the Iranians commander announced it on TV, I guess somewhere in Iran.
What do you say to that, Dave? Does Jerusalem, does Israel actually own Antarctica?
This is all just to make people not want to go to Antarctica. They do everything they can. All wars are wag the dog, bankers' wars, right? We don't know anything that's going on. Now, don't get me wrong. Bombs explode, people die, right? But all of them are all put-ups. They're all, nobody wants to go kill Russians, right? Nobody wants to go kill Iranians except governments. They want order followers to go kill other order followers. And so, there's the atrocities going on in the world. As far as bombing Iran, who knows if a single bomb has gone off over there? We don't know. It's all a put-up, and it's all about keeping people scared.
Something's blowing up in the pictures, but we're not verifying the pictures, right, Dave? Something's blowing up.
We don't know what's going on over there. They probably are blowing up some stuff, but everything you hear, and anytime you hear the word nukes, we've talked about this, know that that's another scam. Just put a clown nose on them and a clown wig, and know that that's not real. It's hard for a lot of people cling to their nuclear bombs more than they cling to their globe Earth. They just don't want to let it go.
We got so many things we can go. Joe and I, we may want to turn the show for the long segment. We may want to go to a little geopolitics or just some local politics. But real quick, the texter did come back in and said that he was talking about Brian. He thinks Brian needs to be a little more well-behaved. Brian was well-behaved for most of it, but as soon as you ask,
it's okay.
When you ask guys questions, when I have debates with people on the air and they ask a question, I tried to answer it, and David, you and I were trying to answer it. And then when I asked him the question, see, that's what you always do. Answer the question and then turn it and say, okay, well, now, wait a minute, I got a question for you since you brought us here, and he could not tell me why 58 nations want to protect an ice wasteland. It's a hard question to answer.
He emailed me after the show last month, and he asked me some specific questions, and I took 20 minutes of my time to put the best videos together. I explained it to him. I said, here, watch. I explained it. I said, watch this video. And I tried to give him short videos. And he just would email me back right away, just galloping to the next one.
Yes,
or just saying, I'm not watching your videos. So he's not interested in learning. So, it's kind of a waste.
So, Dave, I over the years, I have sent much content for Brian to consume, and he will not do it. But it's one of these days. I have a feeling he'll open up one of these days. I really believe Brian will come. Brian's going to come around one of these days. He's going to come on the air, and I think he's got it in him to say, you know what? I just found some stuff out. Jason, Dave, Joe. And I'm starting to change my mind.
I think
it might happen.
I think Brian has I think he has his ticket. He has the #1 ticket for the next pandemic, so he can get his vaccination first.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's be kind to him a little bit. But right. Rick has been waiting a long time to get back on the air with us. We might be changing the discussion next segment. We'll see. Rick, thank you for hanging on. Go ahead, man. Go blast away.
My vote once a month on Thursday is less bumper music and more Dave. But Dave,
I love the bumper music. Stop it.
Hey, Dave. So here's the deal. Brian has a scientific mind, kind of like mine, and you have to have something to make you wonder. Okay, and he has to see it with his own eyes. He's not going to watch your stupid videos. So Brian, tonight, after the sun sets, but the sky is still light, look toward the east at the cumulus clouds up there. You will see the upper layer lit from above and the layer below in shadow. So wonder. Think about that. Think about why, if the sun is set, the clouds are lit from the top. So, but Dave, are you familiar with the Firefly Aerospace Company, the Blue Ghost moon landing?
No, you have to tell me about it.
No? Can I tell you about it after this?
Yeah, hang on,
break?
Rick. We'll get you on the other side of the break. Mike, thanks for coming back in. I want to give you your call because you had to jump off. And we got more with Flat Earth Dave and the Half-Empty Cup of Joe.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this interview, please help support my work and help wake up others by referring or gifting the app to at least one person today. By doing that, you're going to help wake people up and help me to continue doing other interviews like this. With the censorship out there that's going on, it's very difficult to find relevant information. And the app, as you know, brings people to the truthful information of our world. So help support my work, help support your efforts in waking up friends, family, and strangers. Gift them the app or just recommend the app. And let's make 2025 the year Flat Earth breaks free. Check the links below for information on how to gift the app or just refer the app to others and use your referral code to earn Dome cryptocurrency and a free subscription. Thanks.
Welcome back to the
We're back here. The half-empty. Oh, I got it. I'm back. The half-empty cup. Joe and Jason, along with Flat Earth Dave. I'm not really a flat earther, but my question is, why don't we fly from Argentina to South Africa over the South Pole? Never understood this. And when I ask the question, people think I'm crazy.
That's coming in from the Rumble line, Dave.
Flat Earth map, instead of making these crazy crossing the equator to the northern hemisphere, cut across and dive back down, makes no sense. Look at it on a flat Earth. It's a straight line. And again, there's all the southern flight routes make no sense on a globe. They make perfect sense on a flat Earth. And there's another thing called emergency landings. There's a book called 16 Emergency Landings that fully prove the Earth is flat. Because one, they land in a place that makes no sense on the globe. They land in like 10 or 15 minutes after the emergency happens. And if you look at it on a flat Earth, every one of those landing spots is on the straight line in between the origin and destination. So once you start seeing this stuff and looking and thinking, what you've never done before, if you're a glober, an honest glober, you've never looked. Because if you looked, you would know that the globe makes no sense.
Really quick, I'm going to go to a texter, and I want to ask, because I want to ask Dave a question behind it. Love Flat Earth Thursday. Very curious to know why the flat Earth subject. Want to know why the flat Earth subject is important information. Thank you, Sandra. Really quick before you answer that, Dave. I think Joe, we'll talk about this off air, Dave, but Joe would love to have you on and do a non-flat Earth show. And I like it when you come on once a month and do a flat Earth show. So maybe we'll have to talk. Dave, I know you do a lot of shows. It's up to yours, depending on your schedule. But Joe would love to have you on as a non-flat Earth because you're a great guest on all subjects. So if we could fit it into the schedule, if you're interested, we may want to put you on twice a month.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah, I know. We'll figure something out. How about that, Dave? We'll come to an agreement. But why is it important? Why is flat Earth information important, Dave?
Well, it's important because if you don't know who you are, where you stand, what the true power that we have, if you don't understand that nobody is above you other than God, and not the government. Govern is to control, meant is the mind. If you don't understand that we're not in a global warming situation, we're not overpopulated, we're not running out of fuel, that you didn't have to pay for energy, that if you understood these things, you would be able to live to your full potential and you'd be uncontrollable, right? Yeah. But they want us us all under control. They want us sick and tired. The medical big pharma, which is basically runs the world. Their stated goal is to have every kid by age 11 on 3 lifelong medications. They want to keep us dumbed down, stupid, and there's many examples of that happening everywhere. So, if you don't take your God-given gifts and use them, you're going to lose them. And the trick is, the secret is they can't just take anything from you. We have free will. They have to tell you, and they're always telling us. They tell us
generally, Dave, the way that the world system works, generally people sign away their freedoms willingly.
Absolutely.
It's not really ever taken. It's given away.
Well, you give it away. It's never taken. You always have to agree. When you're born, your parents sign a birth certificate, which literally makes you a commodity, gives you away to the state. Your parents do not own you if you sign a birth certificate. I mean, it goes on and on and on. I recommend a podcast, Crow 777 Radio, 2 R's in the word Crow. Start listening to that and learn about the world that you live in. It's not just flat Earth. There's very little flat Earth on there, actually. But you'll learn a ton of stuff.
Let's get back
Don't send your kid to college.
Let's get back to Rick that was wanting to finish. And Mike, we're going to go right to you, I swear. And then if anyone else that wants to call in or text in, 877-536-1360. Rick, go ahead. There was a little bit of a break there.
Yeah, Crow 777. I love that. I'm going to check it out. Dave, you're going to love this. So the Firefly Aeronautics Company accomplished the first successful moon landing of the Blue Ghost mission back in March. The first successful commercial landing, because for the last 20 years they've all fallen over or crashed. So that's the story. So you can read about this online. They've got a great website with like 20 or 30 videos of the flight, the landing, all that crap. So one of the guys on the moon mission is my neighbor, and he's the young guy, 38, something like that. If you look at the videos, everybody in the control room is like 35, 38. It's like Bachelor in space. But so anyway, so the other night we were over at the pool house, the swimming pool, and we were drinking, and I started talking to him. So I said, "Dude, how come when it lands, it doesn't show like 24? It doesn't like film 24/7 videos of like at least the Earth spinning or something to show us? Because my iPhone could do that." He said, "Oh, bandwidth, it's too expensive." I said, "Man, NASA can afford bandwidth." What? That was his excuse, bandwidth.
Bandwidth. But we have satellites that can do it, yeah. Think about the moon. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, so then I said, "Dude, how come, how come up in the sky the Earth is like 1/5 the size of what the moon is in our sky?" He says, "Oh, that's refraction of our atmosphere that magnifies the moon." So then I said, "How come when you're looking at the space, it doesn't look like it's like milky, like full of stars?" He said, "Oh, that's the exposure of the camera." And so he had all these excuses, but you know what, Dave? I think he's fooled.
Yeah, he's fooled. Absolutely.
I think he's fooled. You can see him in one of the videos when they make the landing. He's one of the guys that jumps up with his arms waving and screaming. I think he's fooled.
Thanks for calling, Rick. We need to move to the next. Yeah. But go ahead, Dave.
Really, when the Apollo landing, people in the control room, they said they did so many simulations that when the real thing happened, they couldn't tell the difference between the real event and the simulation.
Oh, boy. Let's go to Mike, who's been patiently waiting. 877-536-1360. Call or text line. Mike, go ahead. You're up.
Okay. I'm still a theorist. However, I did notice the earthquake map, the international earthquake map, is the same design as the flat Earth with the North Pole on the center. And there was that 7.3 earthquake in Alaska yesterday, and it's like a pond being dropped in the water. You see the energy from that earthquake just go, round the Earth, like a circle. It doesn't prove anything, but I thought it was pretty interesting.
Well, actually, earthquakes do prove the flat Earth, because when there's an earthquake, it creates a tsunami lots of times. And those tsunamis, when they hit islands or even small, continents, they'll wrap around them. And if you just look, you'll learn that it'll wrap around it. They wrap around Australia. They wrap around Hawaii. They wrap around lots of places. But when there's a deep southern earthquake, it doesn't wrap around Antarctica. It literally, you can see it going around the edge of the pond, and it spreads out. tsunamis prove the Earth is not a globe, but the globers claim the opposite.
That's incredible. See, that's the kind of stuff I like because I know less of this stuff obviously than Dave does. So anyone's dropped a pebble in a pond, and then you see the water going out every direction. And Dave has just explained that those water, if there's little islands in the pond, you drop the rock in, it'll go around the little islands, but it doesn't go around Antarctica.
It doesn't go around Antarctica.
It doesn't go around Antarctica.
They never do. They never do.
Oh, that's incredible. Mike, anything else?
No, that was it. Thanks. Great show.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
If you're on the fence, go to my website, flatearthdave.com. Get the app. It's $3. And just watch the daily videos. Every day while you're having your tea or coffee, watch the daily video. And I guarantee in 2 weeks, you too will lose your family and friends because you'll be a flat earther.
Joe, we got 4 texters that just came in. Would you start on the bottom of the list there?
All right, let's get to them. 877-536-1360. Remind me, was Dave originally agnostic or atheist?
Well, that's a good question. I hate saying the word atheist because it's really disgusting to me, but I think I was because I never really thought of it. I believed in Big Bang. I believed in evolution. I believed that dinosaurs, even though they became extinct, turned into birds. I believed so much nonsense. I took 4 years of astronomy in college, and I thought I was looking at stars that were trillions of light years away when, in fact, I'm looking at energies right here local inside of our Earth system. So I did not believe in God, and the globe lie is what led me away from God as a young teenager. And I just counted the Bible as a fantasy book because the first Bible study I happened to be at, it said it read a passage where the stars fell to the earth, whatever passage that is. And I was like, a star can't fall to the earth. A star would eat the earth. But that's because the heliocentric model stars are, billions of times bigger than the earth. And that's not the case at all. Stars are tiny, just like we see them.
Excellent. Joe?
All right, next up, Dave. There should be no circular rotation of stars in Australia because it's too far away from the center of the flat Earth.
Yeah.
2 different circular patterns prove
Same question.
If not, please do a Chat GPT video on this subject. Thank you.
Maybe I will. But if you go on the app to the Frequently Asked Questions page to the Southern Star rotation section, there's all sorts of demonstrations on how they do rotate. Just think about this. When you see an airplane coming from far, far away, you don't see it. All of a sudden you see it at the horizon. It comes up over your head, and then it goes down. So it's kind of making a big arc over you, but in reality it's flying in a straight line. And if it's farther forward from you, not going over your head, you'll see a smaller arc, a smaller circle, and you could look at that and say, oh, these are the counter rotations. The optics of the sky don't prove the shape of the Earth.
Okay, there you go. If you have a follow-up question, text back in.
And we'll look forward to maybe a chat GPT on that one. Dave, awesome explanation. Thank you so much for the flat earth answer, Sandra. And then I just watched one of your videos regarding a pilot being intercepted. No context as to where he was. Yes, you will be intercepted if you fly in restricted airspace, but as yours has been former solar panel salesman turned into a flat earth panderer, there are restricted areas, and yes, indeed, there are multi-government treaties intended to protect the ecosystem out there. Yeah. So it's the ecosystem.
Yeah. In 1949, hold on. The Antarctic Treaty happened in, was it 49 or 59 or wherever it was? And it was right after Admiral Byrd went out and said there's more land bigger than America on the other side of the South Pole, which is weird on a globe. I don't know how you do that. And so they said, oh, we're having the Antarctic Treaty. Nobody can go there because of the penguins and the ice. That was before the word environmentalism was even a thing. That was long before. People were dumping garbage in the oceans everywhere. Nobody cared. And that's another thing. Antarctica is not this pristine place. We have whistleblowers, military whistleblowers, that work at secret bases in Antarctica, that they're doing mining operations. They're mining silver, gold, platinum, all sorts of stuff, and they dig giant holes. They dump their sewage and their waste in the hole. They fill the hole, and they dig another hole, and that's how they get rid of their garbage.
Well,
you couldn't do that without getting arrested here.
But Dave,
and so Antarctica is not what they tell you.
Think about it. On a flat Earth, there's a lot of space to dump your trash. You could dump the entire world's trash down there, and it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah, I'm not saying that's a good thing or bad thing. They're saying you can't flick a cigarette butt in Antarctica when the truth is they're doing they're polluting down there more than anywhere else.
And I'll go back to what the texter is saying. It's like there are these treaties and protected areas. Once again, why protect an Arctic wasteland?
No animals, no trees, no vegetation, nothing, no people. That's the story.
And 58 countries care about this? 58 countries care about this, right? Right, Dave?
They all agree with that, and everybody has to become a human Finglish.
All right, you're listening to Half Empty Cup of Joe. David Weiss is our guest. 877-536-1360.
Back here, the Half Empty Cup, Joe and Jason, along with our good friend Flat Earth Dave, who always gets the juices going. And, the debate rages on. It's interesting. I think of all the things for me, anyway. It's just me. I don't know. And I'm not sure that at least right now that I'm ready to have my mind blown apart and really dig in to flat Earth like Dave has done. However, I do give some weight behind the possibility that the biggest reason for all of this, if this is a deception, is because they wanted to eliminate God. That has a lot of weight for me. Right or wrong, I could be way out on that, but that has a lot of weight for me. They have been trying to remove God from our lives for a very, very long time, and for me, there's a lot of weight behind that, because people say, well, why would they lie? Why would they do it? And for me, that one is what I would say, if it is true that they have done this, that is where I would put most of my reasoning behind.
That is a big one. That is, they hate God, and if God, when you're born into God's world, and if you live on God's world, on the flat Earth, with nature and free will, they can't control you. So what they do is they give you a birth certificate. They take control of you. They say you're not a living person. You're a straw man of yourself. Your name in capital letters, and then they say, all right, you live on a ball, and you're going to use our fiat currency, and they completely control you. So they can make any laws they want on the globe, because he who owns it controls it. But if they admitted that you live in God's world on a flat Earth, they can't make any laws. They can't change natural law. But if you live on a globe and disregard God, they can control you. And if you don't, the number one thing they fear is a world of God knowing people knowing where they live. Because if they keep you confused, spinning out of control, you are completely controllable.
I think the speech is what bothers me the most when it comes to an atheist versus a Christian or any God understanding individual. What is always, it's everywhere. I don't know, and I don't know how else you would state this. I've said it many times on the air, Dave. I know God exists. I don't believe in God. Now, I don't pretend. Here's the thing.
Earth is not a ball.
And here's what I don't go, Dave. I don't go to, I know what God is. And I don't think, and this is just me, I don't believe any Christian, any Muslim, any believer in a God knows what God is. I don't like when people, or even preachers and heads of churches, and saying that this is what God thinks, this is what God does, this is what God wants. I know what God is. I don't think we were created to know what God is, but we are created to know there is a God. So when we say believe in God, I believe in God, you immediately are losing the debate with an atheist, because he's like, well, I don't believe what you believe. And so I believe is like an opinion.
I try to avoid that. I try to avoid it because I was that person. I understand that there are people like that. I didn't find flat earth because I'm religious or because I believe in God. I found God because I found out the earth was flat.
Knowing God exists is a much better point to start a debate than believing in God, and it's ingrained in our speech, Joe. I mean, Joe, are you a knower of God, or are you a believer in God? And I think for a lot of people, they are believers in God because they don't have 100% evidence, but I believe in it. Well, Christians are much more in tune with God and with religion than I am, but I know God exists. I don't believe it, and I just wish there was more people, especially from the Christian churches out there, that says I know God exists instead of believing. That word, I don't know, Joe. I just think it makes God very much smaller and less important when you say I believe it, if you in fact in your mind know it.
Yeah, everybody, and again, I don't know, maybe some semantics here. With what Jason is saying, but the thing that I was really trying to convey was that because that's always a big, well, why would they lie? Why would they lie? Why would they cover it up? And for me, this is for me. Hey, well, we just want to control you and do a psyop. That's not good enough. That's not good enough for me. And that's where I think the God part comes into this equation, because this is how evil these people are. They are this evil that by creating this globe model, and again, I'm not saying it is, I'm not saying it isn't, I'm just saying if you're asking me what the reason could possibly be if the earth was really flat, I think it's an easy no-brainer answer, which is they're trying to take God away from us. It's just that simple. That's all there is.
Joe, I have to ask you, you make the comment, you're not ready to become a flat earther. What's your number one reason that you would lean towards the earth possibly being a globe?
Pure pressure.
No, I don't, you know what, here's the funny thing. I don't have a great answer other than, here's my thing. I'm going to say it. Okay. Right now, right? Yeah. All of a sudden, every country is saying that they've landed on the moon, and they, India, Japan, China, like all the moon stuff, right?
Did you watch the Indian moon landing? Did you watch?
Yeah, no, I haven't watched any of it, Dave. I'll be honest with you.
If you watched it, you'd be a flat earther. It's worse it's worse than South Park. It's so bad. It's so bad.
Joe, this is me. Joe is a businessman. He has family and friends. And I think people that are flat earthers have to hide it, Dave. You tell me, you know more flat earthers than we do. Some of them have to hide it because they can't divulge that to friends and family.
That's a reason that you could say that, but that's not being true to yourself. Hey, publicly,
we all lie to ourselves, Dave. Here's the thing, Dave. You're a pretty truthful guy.
I don't lie to myself.
Well,
I used to lie to myself.
I bet if I dissected some questions, we could probably figure out some untruthful ways. And there's no such thing as a fully honest person when it comes to their views of the world. There's always BS inside of everybody. I'm telling you, Dave.
There may be some things that I don't want to tell you. Maybe.
Everyone's got it in them. Everyone's got it in them, Dave. We're all full of crap, Dave. Every one of us, we're all full of crap. It's just what's the level and how does it smell? That's all.
Do something.
That comes with being a globe earther.
Stop bitching.
Well, globe earthers do have a little more dishonesty in them. Welcome back to Half Empty Cup of Joe. 877-536-1360. The caller text lines, and they are open. You can also watch us on rumble.com. It's the Half Empty Cup of Joe. We've had people streaming in all show long. We don't have a huge audience there, but we'll build this thing up. It's we get more guys like David Weiss on and give me a few moments between my busy schedule to work on this thing, and it'll just get better and better. But I don't know. We got two segments. Joe, Dave, where would you like to head?
Let me just plug something real quick. I'm going to be speaking for those people. I'm going to be at truthercon.com. Truthercon.com. That is in October 25th and 26th in Dallas, Texas.
Oh.
And I will also be speaking a couple weeks before or after at the International Truth Expo.com. That's 3 days in Quartzsite, Arizona. And that's going to be is that what's the matter with that?
That's where Joe is. Maybe Joe can meet up with you down there.
Oh, maybe International Truth Expo. It's not just flat Earth. There's going to be a lot of good stuff there. One guy that's going to be there is Ace Baker. You probably never heard of him. He did the American Psy-Opera about 9/11. Some of the best 9/11 information out there that will blow your mind. So he's going to be there. I'm looking forward to meeting him.
What is your involvement down there in Arizona? How do you have a booth or anything?
I'll have a table where I'll be talking to people. I'll probably have some knickknacks to sell that people want.
What days of the week is that?
November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I think Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Are you speaking on Friday?
I'm not sure when I'm speaking.
Oh, maybe we can get that thing on live on the air here while you're speaking. Get on KHNC. We'll have to work on it.
We'll look into that.
Joe, go ahead.
So internationaltruthexpo.com and truthercon.com.
All right, Joe, go ahead.
Yeah, Quartzsite. It's a ghost town in the summer, and it is a mecca for the RVers in the winter time. It's
a lot of camping.
Yes, a lot of camping. They got, people go out and gold mine out there. They take their quads and things like that and play in the desert. It's one of those interesting places in Arizona. Half the year, it's like I said, it's empty, and then the other half the year, they got all kinds of gems and rocks and just all kinds of different people out there in there. So, Dave, as it gets closer, keep reminding us because it's kind of
I will, but we're going to do something really fun at nighttime. We've got our super zoom cameras and stuff. We're going to lay out in the desert and look up at the stars and pretend that we're rotating and the stars are not.
Okay. So, really quick on the text line, Dave has a link to Conspiracy Music Guru on his app. He goes by Flat Earth Ben. I believe, if crossing my fingers, Alex is in Spain, if I'm right, Dave, and he's supposed to call me after the show today. So let's see if we can get.
Oh, is he?
We'll see if we can get Conspiracy Music Guru to give me a call, and we may have a musical conspiracy show with Alex, the Conspiracy Music Guru.
He's actually having a big gathering, like 50 or more, I guess big truthers, and I'll be going to that in September in Spain.
In Spain, all right.
In Spain, yeah.
All right. Joe, do you want to read that?
The good thing is I'm going to take off out of Kennedy Airport. I'm going to fly straight and level, and I'm going to land on a stationary runway in Spain. Airplane. Over the Earth plane.
Yes, an airplane. Yes. It's in the language.
I don't have to worry about different rotation speeds.
It's not an air globalist plane. It's an airplane.
Curve, airplane. Yes.
All right, Joe, go ahead. I think we have another text.
Yeah. One of the texters just wanted to thank Dave. A lot of people, listen, no matter what side of it you're on, I think it's really cool because obviously Dave's a very smart guy. He's done a lot of research and readily has those answers available to people that come in and have those questions, and it makes it definitely. Listen, I'll tell you this. I know this. Dave believes what he is saying. He believes
I don't believe. I know we don't live on a globe.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
You know
can tell.
we don't live on a globe.
Tell, right? That's what makes it so powerful, right? Because it's like, man.
You believe you live on a ball, but you have no evidence of it. I know we live on a flat Earth, and I have evidence.
So Dave,
you don't want to let go of your ball because nobody likes letting their ball go.
Dave, there may be ignorance out there. And you've got a nice
ignorance.
You've got a nice little layer, not a huge. You got a little layer of arrogance. Just on the arrogant side, Dave.
How dare you? Dare you?
On the arrogant side, just know this, Dave. You can't be right in what you're saying unless there's people out there that are wrong. So you got to give some credit to the people that are wrong, so that you can be so correct in things. You can't be right unless somebody else is wrong, right?
I am right. They are wrong. That's all there is. That's not arrogance. That's research.
Well, we're not arguing the facts. Here's another thing I didn't want to touch on. I wanted to touch on because we had Rick.
Go ahead.
The science, the word science that people give so much levity to, and science, it's the science.
Science is good.
Well, science is not even fact. I wish people use the word science as fact. I wish they would stop doing it. This is the ways people need to think. Science is supposed to be proven to be something else by somebody else that has more information. Fact is black, right? The color black is black. There's no arguing that it's a different color.
Right. But the science they use in cosmology in the heliocentric system is complete, total pseudoscience, right? Science is good. Testable, repeatable, independent variables, right? We do that on the flat Earth. Globers do not do that. If you're ducking behind a hill, could I see you? No, you're behind the hill. There's a hill's in the way. I can't see you. But on a globe, you can see things that are behind the Earth curve, and they go, oh, that's because it's refracting up, and there's a mirage, and the refraction, and this and that. And they make up all of this pseudoscientific nonsense because they have to explain how they can see something when it should be
Dave, we touched
hundreds or feet or miles below a curve.
We touched this early in the show before Joe got on, and I mentioned, maybe we'll have to do this on the last segment because we have no callers or texters right now. But I did mention that flat Earth might also be fake as well. If we live in a false reality, then you could almost say flat Earth is also science, not proven, not fact. If we live in...
So you wouldn't mind if I came there and just removed your limbs, right? It's fake. None of it's real.
Well, but I like my version of fake more than your version of fake.
Wanna say that I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. I told you so. Yeah, I told you so. Yeah. But you didn't listen. I told you so. I told you so.
We're back here. The final segment. I know, where does it go? Of course, I missed half of it. I was having some technical issues, and then on top of that, a bunch of Texan issues.
Business.
Yeah, business. Business was being done. Brian would argue black is not black, not fact. Probably, but again, this is kind of what science is really supposed to be all about, which is constantly trying to prove or disprove things that we thought we knew. And I would think that more people, this is the same problem with medicine, right? Not enough of us willing to be open-minded that there may be an explanation that isn't what they tell you the mainstream explanation is. And people have a hard time with that. Vaccines is one of those subjects. Flat Earth is one of those. There's a lot of these types of subjects, Dave.
I understand.
Yep. Well, Dave, thanks for being on with us. We got a couple of minutes. If you want to hit those, hit your website and give yourself a boost. Anybody listening, by the way, that are not Flat Earth Dave fans, if you are KHNC, get over to the website, right, Dave, and send some traffic there and tell your friends and family, right?
FlatEarthDave.com. The best way to learn about Flat Earth is my app. It's the best way to support me, too. And it's super cheap. It's less than buying someone a beer. It's $3. And then they actually have a dating site on there to meet other Flat Earthers. I have a meetup maker. I have a bunch of other things that are premium. And the subscription for that is $11 a year. Okay? Very, very affordable. But you don't have to get that. Just get the app, learn about Flat Earth, and then meet other Flat Earthers near you, go to meetups, and spread the word, because the truth will set us free. That's it. So FlatEarthDave.com. And if you want to learn about all those other topics that's not allowed on YouTube, StopLookThink.com.
StopLookThink.com. I've been there. I don't go there as frequently as I should, Dave, but StopLookThink.com is, support Dave. Hey, you like Dave on the air?
Absolutely. Come on, man. The guy's awesome. Whether you agree with everything they say, he is awesome. Science was originally the study of God's creation. Huh.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
And I'll stay by it. I think this is it. What's that, Dave?
The Big Bang was made up by a Catholic priest. He just made it up, and they said, oh, well, now you can be the head of our science department because you made up the Big Bang, and it hides God beautifully. So, again, you could say, oh, there is a God with a Big Bang, but it dilutes God. It dilutes the creation. Once you see my creation, you no longer can deny my existence, is a verse in the Bible. And again, I don't like quoting the Bible because I used to be, anyone who quote a Bible, I just say, oh, you're a religious fanatic. I'm not going to listen to anything you say. But Earth measures flat.
I got a real quick text because we're going to hit the music.
Go.
They're asking, in your spare time, do you have any interests or hobbies that are not Flat Earth? They're just asking.
I do a lot of research. The Old World is amazing. The Old World section on the app will blow your mind. I boat a lot. I snowboard. I wakeboard. Swim. I do lots of things. So there you
get out in nature. You get out in nature. All right, Dave, go ahead, Joe.
Do something.
Listen, Dave, thank you so much. God bless everybody out there. Jason and I, we get to do this one more time tomorrow before the end of the week.
Everybody, quick message that I'd like to share with all of you. Our lives are filled with toxins in our air, food, and even in the information we're taught. Avoiding them all is impossible, but helping your body detox doesn't have to be complicated. That's where Masterpiece comes in. Just 5 drops under your tongue twice a day, and that's it. Super easy, super simple, and it doesn't even taste bad. I've tried countless supplements, and while generally I'm pretty healthy, I didn't really feel much of an effect. But with Masterpiece, it delivered noticeable benefits. Check out the podcast I did with Terry from Masterpiece, linked below this video, or you can find links directly to Masterpiece on my website, FlatEarthDave.com, or in the shopping section on the app. The key to health is to detoxify. Now back to the show.